Hello YouTube. Welcome back. I'm standing here in my garden today. I'm trying to generate some heat because it's really cold today. So yes, I'm enjoying it here from my garden. I want to continue today on my series, and yesterday I discussed a little bit the Virginias and Latakias and Perique. So for the new beginner or how to start smoking a pipe, today I want to touch on some other names and blends and things that you might hear as a new smoker, and you might not know exactly what that means. So sorry for all the traffic around here, but it can become quite busy here on a Sunday morning. The first one I want to touch on is Cavendish. Cavendish is not really a tobacco blend or a variety. It's more a method of preparing tobacco. So it is, the story goes that there was an English explorer, Sir Thomas Cavendish, who, when he visited Americas, he realized and found that Virginia tobacco was immersed into sugar and producing a very nice tobacco. My wife just arrived. Yeah, so he realized that if you immerse Virginia tobacco in sugar, it produces a much more softer and sweeter and milder tobacco. So that's where the method then became a method of stoving and pressing and lightly sweetening tobacco. So Cavendish will nowadays, because obviously the process has been perfected over years. So nowadays a typical Cavendish will be sweetened and then pressed and even cooked to give you that black Cavendish flavor, and it's very, especially the black Cavendish, very soft and smooth, and a much rounder tobacco than a pure Virginia or another blend. So that is what you will find in Cavendish. The different types of Cavendish that you will get is a cherry Cavendish, a whiskey Cavendish, a black Cavendish, obviously stoved and very dark, but very nice and very soft. And then you also get a golden Cavendish. I've seen a cool Cavendish. So there are different ways, and it's all the way that it has been stoved or pressed and prepared for packaging. So not a variety on its own. The next one is Orientals. Now Orientals are tobacco that is grown, different varieties that are grown in the Mediterranean Black Sea area. They are very spicy, very nutty, even sweety and woody. But it's a mellow tobacco, so an Oriental tobacco is often used in a blend with Latakia. I tend to think that Latakia falls under a Oriental tobacco, but I might not be correct. Maybe it is Oriental tobacco that has been smoked to give you Latakia, but for me, an Oriental and Latakia is very close to each other. But yeah, that's the Orientals. It comes from specifically that Mediterranean Black Sea area, and is very popular to use in a blend. The next one is names that has been given to blends or style of blending. An English blend is a blend that contains Virginia as the base, and then Latakia and Orientals. That vehicle is in need of a new exhaust system or something. So an English blend will be a Virginia Latakia type of blend, and there might even be Orientals in it to give it a more spiciness, a touch of spiciness. A very good very good English blend will be Daniel Nightcap, smoky, earthy character, and the spiciness and peppery that comes with it. But what I've read on the internet is that there's an opinion that English blend does not refer to the way of blending or whether there's Virginia in it or not, but that it purely refers to the tobacco that has been made or produced or blended in the UK due to very strict purity laws that was you know, that the blenders had to comply with in the UK, meaning that when it's an English blend, it's got nothing to do with Virginia Latakia or Orientals or what inside, but that the tobacco will be a pure tobacco due to the purity laws that they had to comply with. So you know, strictly speaking, then, if that is true, which I have got no reason why it might not be true, but if that is the case, then it means that an English blend is a more purer, maybe more healthier blend of tobacco. I'm not sure. So if someone knows more about that or can give us clarity on that, it would be nice. But yeah, that is what is normally meant by an English blend, is that it's got definitely Virginia Latakia and maybe an Oriental with it. I've also seen Dutch and American blends, and I must say I really struggled to find enough information on Dutch blends. The closest I could get was that a Dutch blend will refer to, again, a style of tobacco blending. Apparently a Dutch blend will be a blend of tobaccos. It can be Virginias and Kentuckys and any kind of tobacco that has been cased or flavored with molasses and then steamed with a Cavendish base. So it then produces a very darkish golden Cavendish tobacco. Can be very hot smoking tobacco and maybe even tongue bite in with it. So that is what I could get, what is referred to as a Dutch blend. In contrast to the Dutch blend, not in contrast, very similar to the Dutch blend is American blend, and my American friends, please give us some info on that. But it looks like the American blend is very similar to a Dutch blend, and that it only differs in the sweetening or the flavoring process that the Americans used in contrast to the Dutch. So the method of the American blends also Cavendish base, but that they will blend and case their tobacco in a more sweety, fruity flavoring or concentrate, and that will give it a different style than the Dutch blends. It is for that reason that American blends are very popular beginner smoking tobacco, because it's a soft tobacco. It's burned slow. It gives you a very mild smoke, and it burns also cold. So for a beginner smoker, it looks like the American style of blending is very popular, and it's also the aromatics that you get from there, which is a popular style of blending. So that covers everything in terms of tobacco. In my presentations and series here, there are other tobaccos also, which I thought I'm not going to touch on, because the bulk of what you will get is what I've touched, and that is Latakia, Virginias, Burleys, Orientals, English blends, Dutch, American, and Cavendish. So that gives a broad overview of the different tobaccos that you might get and might hear about when trying to buy your tobacco. The other thing that I just quickly want to refer to, and we don't place too much emphasis on the cake or the method of preparation or the cutting of tobacco in South Africa, because I think a lot of tobaccos won't even know what is the difference between a flake or a rope or a slice. But just a quick information on that. You will hear, in terms of tobacco presentations, the way it's been cut, you will hear things like cake, flake, rope, slices, shag, cube cut, curly cuts, twist, navy cut. They all refer to a way that the tobacco has been cut or prepared for blending or in your tin. A cake is normally a tobacco that has been pressed or compressed into a round disc or a square disc, and if you want to smoke it, you just break it off or cut it yourself in different widths and sizes. A flake is tobacco that is sliced in pieces, which is kind of large pressed blocks that has been cut into irregular sized slices. Rope is when they spun or twist or twill tobacco leaves into ropes. With other words, they will spun a rope out of it. It's a more traditional way of producing and preparing and selling tobacco, but you might still get that often. Slices is tobacco that has been sliced in thicker slices, normally from a pressed cake or a block of tobacco. Broken flakes, pieces which are broken off from tobacco cakes. Ribbon cut, which is just a thinner, more regular type of cut of tobacco. And I think you probably will get most of the tobacco that we can buy and you will get as a beginner will probably be some a ribbon cut tobacco. Shag is just a very fine cut of tobacco, maybe similar to cube cut. Curly cut is tobacco which is sliced into round slices. Navy cut is the other one, which is maybe also known and popular, because navy cut is known to give a more fuller taste of the tobacco. And the reason for that is it is tobacco that is wrapped with leaves or with sweeteners, and then cut into twists or twirls. So in that sense, it is a way of preparing or wrapping it before then it is cut. But as I said, you probably will buy most of your tobacco is I think ribbed type of ribbon cut type of tobacco, because it smokes, gives a nice taste to the tobacco. But it is known that the way of slicing it does affect the taste. So if you start progressing in your smoking, you might get to a point where you would like to buy a cake of tobacco or press it yourself and then start slicing it. I've seen one guy who smoked put plugs into his pipe without even breaking it up into smaller pieces. So those are different things, but I really think for a beginner, just to know about these will be important. And as you progress, you might want to try different types of cuts later in your smoking experience. So on that note, from my garden and nice in the sun, and the heavy traffic around me, I'm going to greet you, and my next video will be about your accessories and cleaning and those kind of things, because as a pipe smoker or a beginner pipe smoker, you also need to know how and what you need for cleaning your tobacco, your pipes. So from my stand will Hans Christian Andersen with a short stem and a very tongue-bitey, not very nice tobacco blend which I bought from a local tobacconist. I'm greeting you. I'm glad this bowl is finished. I'm going to modify this blend a little bit to something that I will like more less tongue bite and more flavorful. Probably I'll add a bit Latakia, because I realized I really like Latakia blends. So YouTubers, community, friends, pipe smokers, puff on, enjoy your day, and goodbye from me. Bye-bye.